So let's get down to some of the trip details. Now that we've talked about the trip, now that I'm sure you all are excited and want to go on the trip, here are some things that you need to know. We are going to be, like I said, traveling on a charter bus. Right now it appears as though that's the best option for us because we've looked into flights and a couple other options, and when it comes down to it, a bus is it's going to be about a couple $100 per person, which seems like the best way to go in terms of cost. And also, I mean, the bus ride down, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a good time to get to know each other and have some fun that way. So the trip kind of starts, and by the time we get into Houston, we'll have already really connected with each other, which will be a lot of fun. The hotel, there's not really a whole lot to say about the hotel. Once we get to Houston, we'll know what our hotel is within the first couple of months of this coming new year. And really, generally speaking, in Houston, the hotels are all pretty close to each other in the downtown area, which are also close to then the convention center and Minute Maid Park there. So that's where the majority of the hotels are going to be. There is another area a little bit further out that if they need to, they'll utilize for hotels, but there'll be shuttles for all of that and that sort of thing too. So the important thing to remember is that if we can register as soon as registration opens up, that then we have the priority for what hotel we'll want, and we're going to want those close ones into the to the downtown area. So food, there's lots of opportunities and good food there in Houston. We will, all of the fundraising and stuff that we do, the food will be covered by that. So when we talk about the cost in fundraising and that kind of stuff, everything's included in that. Food will be available throughout the day through a variety of options, usually things like food trucks, sometimes street vendors and things like that. And then there's also a bunch of restaurants in that downtown area. We will have some fun events, some things that we do just as a youth group, and then some things we do with others as well. One of those things is our district event for our Eastern Iowa LCMS district. And so we'll have a chance to get together with others and get to know other churches that aren't too far away from us, which will be awesome, and we're looking forward to that as well. We're not sharing a ton of details about that yet because we haven't shared details about that within our entire district, so that'll all be unveiled kind of around the same time in the next month or so here. And then the last thing to really talk about in terms of our trip details is the cost. This trip, we're saying that the overall cost per person is about $1,100. That just want to be clear on that. That does not mean that you incur the cost of $1,100 on your own. If you'd like to go on the trip, we're going to do our best to provide you with fundraising opportunities. And as I told the others on Sunday in our meeting, really, I don't think I've taken a group on a youth gathering where they've paid more than maybe $250 or something like that. So we'll do our best to provide those fundraising opportunities, and then it's up to you and your family to be as involved in those as possible. And if we need to have payments toward the end because we haven't raised the full amount, we'll be sure to communicate well with everybody so that it's not a surprise, and so that it's not all of a sudden before we go we need several $100s from you. That's not how we're going to do it. So really, when it comes down to the cost of the trip, we want to make sure that everybody who wants to go is able to go. And so if even the deposit that you need to pay is an issue for you, please just talk to me, email or call, and we'll find a way to make it happen. So those are kind of some of the trip details. And as I always say for any of this stuff, if you guys have questions about this stuff, if there's something that we haven't covered, please reach out and let me know if you do have questions. We want to make sure that we're answering everything that needs to be answered to make this a great trip.